We're coming to the end of the month and we're going into Scarlet and Violet. So today we're going to be looking at some single cards that have been climbing and some that have been dropping. So it'd be interesting to see what has been going on because there's some really big cards that are reaching pretty insane prices, and there are some big cards which are dropping like crazy. So we'll be taking a look at TCG Player at all the cards to see what has been going up and what has been going down. Okay, starting off our big climbers, we're going to be talking about Pikachu VMAX, the Chonkachu from Vivid Voltage. Big card, big card from Vivid Voltage. The only reason why you open it, really. And this card has been going up in price. Let's take a look. We're looking at around $162, $164. Did reach a high of 171. Over the past 6 months, this card went from around 128 to now this 170. We go back a year, this card pretty much was very expensive. At 180, it did drop to as low as, like I say, 128, and is now on the uptick back to where it was a year ago. Don't forget, Vivid Voltage had a big hype, then it did get reprinted, and reprinted, restock, and it caused the prices and the values of all the cards in the set to drop like crazy. However, the Chonkachu has gone up in price over time, and it is starting to bounce back. This is an incredible card, very difficult to pull, doing very well. Another big climber we have is a card from Unbroken Bonds, and that is the Gardevoir and Sylveon GX alternate full art. Now this is a beautiful card. I love Sylveon and I like Gardevoir. This card has been climbing over the past 3 months. It went from $93 to now nearly reaching $130. We go back 6 months, it's been climbing even more crazy from 80 to 130. We go back a year and we're looking at 54 and now that 130. Unbroken Bonds is an extremely expensive set in the Sun and Moon era. Really difficult to get hold of, and this card is not easy to pull. This is a beautiful, stunning card. $130, big climber. Really, over the past year, it's been doing really well, and I would say especially over the last 6 months, you're going from 80 to 130 is very impressive for a card like this, and it is a beautiful, stunning card. I like Unbroken Bonds. All rates are not easy for that set. And like I say, booster boxes again, pretty pricey. Another big climber, we have the Umbreon GX. This is the shiny from the Shiny Vault, the full art shiny. Now, Hidden Fates is an awesome set. I love it, one of my favorites, and great to crack packs. And this is a beautiful, stunning card. So Umbreon has been going up over the last 6 months. We're looking at around $82 and now sitting close to 100. It did go over 100 at one point, but it has dipped down just ever so slightly. We go back a year and this card is at the highest it's ever been, and Hidden Fates aren't cheap. Booster packs are getting more expensive. ETBs are going up in price as well. This isn't an easy card to pull. It does share a slot with a lot of cards in that shiny vault of Hidden Fate. We can't take away how amazing it is. Umbreons across the board have been going up because of Evolving Skies and other things like that. So that's probably why we can see this one actually going up to a pretty decent price at around the $100 mark. Another big card we have is a card from Team Up. Team Up, super expensive. Gengar and Mimikyu GX alternate full art. Incredible. So we're looking at 181. 3 months ago, this card was around 135 and it's gone up by nearly $50 in 3 months. We go back 6 months. This card went from 96 at under $100 to nearly double. Basically doubled in value over the last 6 months. We go back a year. This card has tripled nearly in value. Incredible. Team Up, super expensive, very hard to get hold of. I think like booster boxes nearly like $1,000 now, which is just crazy. And this is one of the hardest cards to pull. So if you have this in your collection or you do want this is a big card. And yeah, nothing can take away from how great some of the cards are in Team Up. You have the Latios and Latias, tag team, very expensive. This is so pricey, and this is going to keep going up. Team Up is very hard to get hold of, so this card is hard to pull. I expect this card to do incredibly well in the long term. Speaking of big cards, we have the Lily full art. This is incredible. Ultra Prism. I love Ultra Prism. Very expensive set. Again, Sun and Moon era, hard to get hold of. This card is the most expensive full art trainer in a long time. I mean, ever, maybe. This is very expensive, especially in English. $330. Absolutely crazy. 3 months ago, it was $260. So it's gone up, what, $70 in the last 3 months. We go back 6 months, guys. $230, $100. Again, $100 in 6 months. We go back a year. This card was around $240. It did dip a little bit and then bang, went straight up. And it's interesting. We're starting to see, of course, Japanese full art trainers coming out at really high prices. It was interesting to see that English ones are starting to go that way as well. Lily was the real big one that kind of pushed things crazy amounts. Ultra Prism, like I say, booster boxes are pricey. It is the chase card in the set. It is stupidly expensive, but it is a nice card. I do like the artwork, so it's one thing to look out for in future sets are these so-called waifu cards that have incredible value. Okay, now moving on to cards that are crashing or falling down. We're looking at the Origin Form Dialga V-Star from Crown Zenith. This is a nice card. The Flying Pony 3 months ago, well, it hasn't been out that long, but since its release, this card has been dropping a fair amount. Unlike the Giratina and things like that, which are holding decent value, this one, not so much. Around $80, dropping to around $50. You're looking around about over 30% drop of this card since its release. Over the past month, this card has gone from $60 to below $50. Will I see it drop even more? Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot more Crown Zenith being opened over the next few months. It has a long release window. So much of the product is being open, and there's also going to be so much of it around that I do feel like some of these cards will continue to drop in value down the line. Where will it stop? Maybe around $40, but it's not one of the best and biggest gold V-Stars in the set. And of course, to match the Dialga, we have the Palkia as well, another one from Crown Zenith, which has also dropped as well. We take a look since its release. This card did come out of the gates at 75, then it did dip, then it went back up again, and now it's sitting around 52, so it's a little bit more expensive than the Dialga, but not really by much. We go back a month, this card went from $60 to around 52, so it's dropped a little bit compared to the Dialga. Again, I do see this continue to drop below the $50 mark, still be more than Dialga. This is a gorgeous card, they all are. But again, same reason, packs are being opened. This card really, is going to continue to fall. Be interesting to see where some of the other big cards are from Crown Zenith. But, across the board, a lot of them are holding their value. But however, some of these big gold V-Stars are dropping. All right, then we have the Charizard from Celebrations. Now, this is an interesting one. Celebrations, again, a bit, hard to get hold of. Quite pricey. This is the best card in the set. Let's take a look at it. So, this card has risen quite rapidly, and it did drop over the last 3 months, and it's quite interesting because I always thought this card was doing pretty well. We go back 6 months, and again, yeah, this card has been overall climbing, but recently it has taken quite a big drop from $86 down to $74. We go back a year from its release, and it kind of is at the same level as it was a year ago, and it has had a bit of a bumpy ride. Do I see this going up now over time? I mean, it's interesting. You would have thought so because it was on that big rise, but now it's kind of back down to where it was a year ago. It's interesting to see. I think that I love opening up Celebrations. I enjoy it as well, but for this Charizard to drop a little bit, it's interesting. Will I pick this up? I mean, yeah, I think it's a really good card, really nice. Obviously it's the iconic artwork, and Celebration ETBs are getting more and more expensive. Now we have the shiny Charizard GX from Hidden Fates. We looked at the Umbreon, we're looking at the big boy Charizard. This has actually dropped. We go back 3 months. This card went from $360 and it did drop to around $347 and is now back up to $35. We go back 6 months and we see this card kind of fall even further from $375. Further down, we go back a year and we can see the card was always around $400 for the longest time. It was around $400 and we're now looking at $350. Hidden Fate, expensive, like I say, similar to the Umbreon. However, Charizard is still the big chase card of the set. Never pulled it though. Opened up quite a lot of Hidden Fates and never seen it, but it is a really, really nice card and still a great one for any collection. But it has been dropping. We're looking from $400 to $350. You're probably looking around 10 to 15% drop, which isn't the biggest drop, but it's still quite a bit. $50 is still quite a bit, even though the price point is actually quite high for this card. But, like I say, Hidden Fates, this is the big chase card. Really hard to get hold of. It will bounce back. It's Charizard, and Hidden Fates is one of the all-time best modern sets in my opinion, so I do feel like this will still go back over time, but right now, like I say, has been falling. There you have it, guys. Those are some cards going on in the single markets. Like I say, some have gone up, some have gone down. Like I say, the ones that have been going up really fast and insane rates, especially in that Sun and Moon era. Sun and Moon booster boxes are getting harder and harder and tougher to get hold of, and more expensive. Pull rates are not very good in those eras either, so those cards are going up. That Lily full art is insane, and of course Gengar from Team Up, anything from Team Up is going up across the board. That's how good that set is. It is incredible. Chonkachu's going up as well, which is quite impressive. However, some of the Charizards and of course cards from Crown Zenith are continuing to fall. If you made this far into the video, guys, and you've enjoyed it, make sure to smash the like button and make sure you subscribe for more Pokemon content. And let me know down in the comments, do you have any of these cards? Are you looking to pick up any of these cards? I think some of them are really, really nice, especially that Lily. If you want to watch me go through my tier list of the Sword and Shield era, then make sure to click on this video right here. And of course, if you want to watch more Pokemon content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Alright guys, that's it from me in this video. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys are the legends, and I'll see you all in the next one.